I want to promote marriage, defend marriage, encourage marriage, and the great thing about last night's vote is that two gay people who love each other will now be able to get married, and I think that's an important advance. And I believe this as a Conservative. I'm in favour of marriage. Marriage is a great institution, so it should be available for gay people too. As Jesus said with his arms outstretched to his disciples, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother, my sister and my mother."
There are already cases where people are finding that simply as a result of perhaps speaking out or having a possible conscientious objection to same-sex relationships or the practice of homosexuality, people find themselves actually in trouble with the law. And I run the Christian Legal Centre, and there at any one time we have a number of cases where people have found themselves in trouble with the law.
And tonight, let us be proud that this is a Christian country where we stand.
And Lillian Liddell lost her case. She was a registrar who refused to register civil partnerships.
A lot of Christians will remain hidden, will remain unable to exercise I would say, the minimum expressions of their faiths because of the intimidation effect.
I feel that Christians are marginalised in the workplace. Other faiths are allowed to physically manifest their beliefs. I'm not allowed to manifest mine, and I think that still needs addressing.
So at this important time, let us commemorate the birth of a great religion, let us give thanks for everything the Sikh community does for Britain, and let us celebrate the successful, multi-ethnic, multi-faith democracy country that we are.
David Cameron visited a Sikh temple in Kent today, not the place for party politics.
Proud that this is a Christian country where we stand. Where we stand for the freedom to practice your faith, and where we stand up for Christians and all those who are persecuted anywhere in our world. They are family too.
David Cameron is making Christians feel persecuted. That's according to the former Archbishop of Canterbury, Lord Carey, writing in today's Daily Mail. He claims that the Prime Minister has told religious leaders that they should stand up and oppose aggressive secularisation, when it seems that his government is aiding and abetting this aggression every step of the way. The government risks entrenching a very damaging division in British society by driving law-abiding Christians into the ranks of the malcontents and the alienated.
It's very clear that the former Archbishop feels that his policies in government are alienating Christians, and in particular I think it's gay marriage that he thinks is something that perhaps is making many Christians feel that the state isn't doing enough to reflect their beliefs. And that is actually supported in some ways by a poll that's been released today. It's by Comres. Important to note, it has been commissioned by the Coalition for Marriage, which is campaigning against gay marriage. 53% of Christians who backed the Conservatives in 2010 said they won't in 2015, according to this poll, and 67% said they felt part of a persecuted minority. Now, that is, of course, going to be worrying to the government. Lord Carey may not be in office, but there will be a concern within Downing Street that perhaps his comments are reflective of what many Christians feel, many Christians who vote Conservatives, even perhaps members of his own backbenchers, his own MPs, because certainly that gay marriage vote did prove to be very divisive within the Conservative Party.
Christian NHS therapist claims her career was ruined after she was disciplined for praying for a Muslim colleague. Victoria Wastany is taking the trust which runs the John Howard Centre in Homerton to a tribunal, saying she was treated like a religious nutcase. She joins me now.
There's been a lot of emphasis actually placed on a Christian book that I gave my colleague, and you were right to say that I also prayed with her on one occasion during my lunch break. We had a long-standing friendship as well as a work-colleague relationship. There was never any conflict between us as two professional women and finding kind of shared interest
So how shocked were you when suddenly a complaint went in that led to you being disciplined?
I was extremely shocked. Before the complaint went in, she'd actually approached me to say that people in my team were trying to get her to make the complaint, and that she was very much lending a hand of support to me. So when the kind of table flipped, I was completely shocked and very surprised that it had come to this, and ultimately transpired into a case where I was... it was upheld that I was bullied and harassed my colleague and friend in the workplace.
And you're now fighting this, as we said, taking it to tribunal.
Proud that this is a Christian country where we stand for the freedom to practice your faith.
Britain is threatening to revoke financial aid to poor African countries that don't support gay rights. The Daily Mail Online reports British Prime Minister David Cameron is trying to take a, quote, gay rights crusade to the third world.
To be absolutely clear, you are saying to these African countries, if you don't change your law on homosexuality, we will give you less aid.
We are saying it is one of the things that will determine our aid policy.